How do I rate that weekend? I said no hard questions. I don't think anybody in our program likes to lose. I think we closed a lot of gaps on Metro that the scores were a lot closer this time around. I mean, I don't think I've ever had I don't know if I ever had a match, but lost all 3 sets by deuce scores by 2 or less. Can you lose by less than 2? No, you can't. Okay. Yeah, it's a tennis thing. But anyway, so, I'm happy with our progress. Obviously, we really wanted to get the win. But, I don't think it's going to hurt us regionally at all. And I think it just gives our team confidence the next time we see Metro that we know what we need to do to get the W. Christian was, again, one of those kind of like hangover matches. It's like there was so much emotion put into the Metro match that we were kind of all exhausted. Me included, I didn't even play. And we didn't play our best volleyball, but I think we competed really well and found ways to win. Also, the matches were really close, or the sets were really close. So I'm happy with that win, and also 3-0 helped us. So just kind of for the recovery part of it.
For both Erin and Savannah, separate matches, but really came to shine against Metro. Do you get kind of a little extra amped for a match like that? And how hard is it to come back tonight after such emotions like this?
I was really excited to play Metro because the first time we played them obviously wasn't what we were hoping for. So I think this time I just really wanted to show what we were capable of, and I knew that was a game that we had the potential to win. So I think just adding that extra energy was something that I knew we needed. I was really excited. And then coming back and playing Christian, like he said, it was definitely tough because emotionally we put so much into the Metro game, and to not, take a set off of them, that was really tough. But I think we did a really great job just coming together and kind of figuring out whatever we could do to win that game. We knew we had to, and we did that. So that was a success for the weekend.
Anything you want to add?
I think Erin said it well. Yeah.
For you yourself leading the conference in 80%, what's been kind of clicking for you throughout the season?
Overall, yeah, I did have a rough weekend, it feels like. Even like looking at it on paper, it's not that rough, but like looking at how I started the season, it's not like the same. But luckily, there's only like one place to go, is just up, and that's my goal. I've been working really hard in the gym and like working with this team, and everyone's been putting in work, and we've all been looking to improve. We've all been working on different things, different tempos, and I think last weekend was a very much growth weekend. It may not have been the results we wanted, but we were working on new tempos, or I guess old tempos, trying to fix them and working on that. So it'll be really fun to see how we come out this coming weekend.
I think Spitz is being a little bit humble with that. She just offensively has been so dominant, and I think on the court, playing with her too, it just really amps up the energy, and I feel like for our team that's something that we've needed consistently, and she's brought that. So I'm really proud of Spitz. I'm just really excited for everything that she adds to this team, and I think she's one of the reasons why we have so much success.
Thanks.
Nice job, Curl.
The rest of the front line, obviously you feed off of each other. I mean, somebody gets a big kill or goes up for a block and stuff, you can just kind of see everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like, okay, I have to hit better than Spitz because, you're kind of off the charts this year. But does it just kind of raise everybody's level?
Yeah, I think just those kills that you get, they add so much momentum and also just instills confidence with the whole team. And especially in those moments when everybody kind of gets internal, I think that gives everybody an opportunity to, get super excited, and that just amps everybody up. And then also just offensively, when one hitter is doing really, really well, it opens up opportunities for everybody else too. So just all across the board, when you have those big plays, it's just a great feeling, and yeah, it just adds so much more momentum to the team.
I think it also helps that with our whole front row, we've all had a game that we've all done really good, and we've all had a game that we've all not done so hot. So it's really good to know that if I'm not playing hot like this game, Curl can step up, Sid can step up, Sierra can step up. We all know that out of us 5 front row attackers, somebody else is there to cover us no matter what. So it makes it really easy to get up there and just swing Not to mention our back row is quite literally behind covering us to get everything up. Even if we do get blocked, they're right there, so we can just keep swinging.
Kind of bring the double block to me, and you go up, and because you know that on the other side somebody's going to be wide open, and you know Savannah's going to get them the ball, or Sabrina,
Yes.
Savannah.
A lot of S names.
Yeah, too many S's.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously, the way that your setter can find the right person at the right time. So, obviously she's been here forever and a day, and she's still only what? She's a sophomore? Is she a junior yet?
Third year, 2 years to go.
Third, yeah. But it's just one of those things where you're still very young, but very experienced. So it's just kind of helps feed this team a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Sabrina does a great job. She's a very instinctual setter. I mean, a lot of times you want to train the setters to what the block on the other side of the net is doing. We never had to do that with Sabrina. She kind of understood that right away when she got here, and is very instinctual. So if Spitzer does have a double block, she'll push to Erin or push to one of our outsides, and just kind of has the knack to know when to set who. And she's really good about finding the hot hitter too, which we talk about a lot. A setter that's in high school or maybe not as good as Sabrina will tend to cycle. They'll go outside, middle, right, where Sabrina's she's gonna find the best situation every single time she sets the ball.
And you guys are always in her ear saying, "Hey, you haven't set me for a while. Let's
Yeah,
give her a little love."
that's one thing Fleming always tells me to do is just demand the ball. And I feel like as a hitter, just having that relationship with your setter is so important because they're your quarterback pretty much, and they're the one calling the plays. So whenever you go and demand the ball, say, hey, I'm going to put this away. I'm going to get this point for the team. When you have that relationship, it just makes it so seamless, and it makes execution really easy. And Sabrina is just so open to that communication, and is just always looking for what hitter's performing the best, and just kind of feeling everybody out mentally. And I feel like that's also so nice because sometimes, we do struggle. We get blocked a couple times, but in a couple balls, she'll set you right back and give you an opportunity to score again and just get that confidence back. So she does such a great job of, working with all the hitters and making sure that we're in the best position offensively.
That's one thing I also do when I go in, a lot like Curl. I talk to her about that. And I get to spend 3 rotations off, so I get to see what they're doing against the other half of our lineup. So when I come in, I like to tell her, hey, they're sticking 2 on the middle, so you can chuck one back to Curl because she's wide open. You can push it out to Sydney because they're punched in a ton. So I like to talk to her throughout the play with what the blockers are doing. She may be seeing it herself, but sometimes she likes hearing other feedback. So when Metro's commit blocking with me, then she knows she can either she's tend to forget sometimes that she's also a viable attacker when she's front row. But I remind her, I'm hey, your deep dump is open, your little donut's open, and I just talk to her about all that always.
Come on, boys, step up. You got to ask at least one question. No? All right, keep going, Patty.
Erin, how long did it take you, once you got here? I mean, these guys have been here forever working together. How long did it take you to kind of feel comfortable?
If this wasn't my third school, it probably would have taken me a little bit longer. But I think once preseason, the first couple weeks of our actual practices, I became super comfortable, which I was right away. The entire team is just so open to everything, and I feel like they made me feel really welcome. But I feel like, especially now as the season's gone on, I'm still trying to figure out my place on the team and just figuring out exactly what I can bring. But the team is just so cooperative in every single way, so it made that transition pretty seamless.
And Erin was a middle for the first 2 weeks at least.
Oh yeah, I think it was the first game Fleming just put me on the right side. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing now.
I mean, it's and you played middle when Savannah was out one match, and then it's I don't even know what position she's on the front row right now.
Yeah.
But having that versatility, obviously, because you have played all along, that kind of help you kind of figure out your role a little bit?
Yeah, I think it did. It just shows me, like, no matter where I'm on the court, all I want to do is, be the best attacker I can be. And I know Fleming asked me early on, like, do I feel more comfortable in the middle or on the right? And I just said, wherever we're going to win. And so I feel like I still just have that mentality. And on the right side, I'm still kind of working throughout a system and some things that I'm not as comfortable with. But I just know that there's always things I can bring, and everybody's been really supportive as I work through some of those obstacles. But yeah, just want to win, and whatever it takes, I'll be in whatever position. It could be libero too, you never know.
He had a few.
Yeah.
You said this is your third school. Have you learned anything about yourself going through the other two schools?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned is just as an athlete, we put so much pressure on ourselves and just overthink everything. But as I've kind of transitioned through all these schools, I've just learned, you can learn, there's so many different ways to play volleyball. There's more than one way to do something right. And so it's just, I learned, the steps that I need to take to play my best. And that's honestly just the mental side of things. And so I've tried to prioritize that more than anything else this year, just making sure mentally, I have that mindset of winning, and I don't, get down on myself after one error. I think early on in my career, I was just so hard on myself. I always wanted to be perfect. But after playing for 10 years, I'm like, okay, most of the time I'm not playing perfect. So it's like just figuring out how to get better wherever I can and just moving forward all the time.
I think one of you guys, I forget who, but described the game against Colorado Christian as a hangover match.
They don't know what hangover is, so that was me.
Walk me through kind of the feeling with the team, or for you, Coach, like before that match. Kind of, was it a sense of like, was there like a weight on your guys' shoulders? Was it more like we're just putting that past us? Walk me through what's going through your guys' heads.
So that morning I woke up and it was more mental exhaustion than anything else. Like he said, just emotionally, like we all wanted to win that so bad it would have been a huge match to win. And so kind of like with the previous answer, just focusing on the mental side of things, we all kind of knew like, hey, this isn't going to be a Metro, this isn't going to be a Tampa, but this still is a team that can beat us if we aren't there mentally. And so I think we just figured out how to push through like some of that mental exhaustion and trying to figure out how to communicate whenever there wasn't a lot of energy. And I think that's something that we're still working through, but we did a really great job during that game.
Yeah. I know I was ready to get back because I think I only got like 4 kills doing the Metro game, which is probably the lowest I've gotten this season. So I was like, okay, I'm ready to take it out a little bit on CCU and keep playing. So I came like fired up and ready to go, and I was just really ready to play. I know quite a few other people on the team were just ready to play and ready to get out there again and kind of like redeem themselves a little bit during the CCU game.
As coach, how does that make you feel that you don't really have to talk to these young ladies about bouncing back or having short-term memory? How does that make you feel?
I think this is a really professional group. I think we have good leadership, including these two on this team, so we don't have to focus on that too much. Even after the Metro match, I wasn't angry. I think we were all just disappointed. But this team wants to win. They work hard. So the mental stuff, like Erin says, it's a focus for us, but it's not something that I have to keep reminding them. I mean, they know that Colorado Christian is a big match. They know that Fort Lewis and Western are huge matches for us. We got to protect our home court. So you don't have to remind them too much. I'll give them little jabs here and there, little reminders, sometimes during sixes, sometimes before we play sixes. But it's a really good group, and I'd say that they're all really professional about it.
All right, question of the week. What is your guilty pleasure TV show you watch?
Mine is SpongeBob. I obviously grew up watching that all the time, and now I'll still put it on pretty frequently. Hate to admit it, but it's a good one. There's a lot of jokes in there that I didn't pick up on when I was little, so recommend it.
Fire away.
I was still thinking.
All right. I'm going to go with Better Call Saul. They should have won an Emmy. Haven't seen the last 6 episodes, waiting for the season to finish. But my daughter and I just really love that show. We were Breaking Bad fans, and I just think it's really well done.
Mine would have to be, it's called Attack on Titan. My friends and I are actually, I'm rewatching it with them. It's like my 8th time seeing it. It's, yeah, like apocalyptic sort of, I guess. Yeah,